Tadaima.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Daniel. Tonight we are going to do a room tour of our traditional Japanese Airbnb. Yuka and I have to do 2 weeks quarantine here. Come with us as we introduce and share our quarantine digs with you.
Daniel and Yuka.
First of all, we have here a very nice Genkan. Over here we have all our luggage, and here, this is pretty neat. This is called a kabuto. Here we have a daruma, an umbrella.
Okay, so what do you think about this entrance is, like normally Western entrance doesn't have these
Large step up into the house.
But still, like a lot of Japanese people want to keep the space for entrance, which is a dirty place, and inside. That's why we needed to take off all shoes. Yeah, right. Then, if you want to use slippers, so this house is 1 living room, 1 kitchen space, and 2 bedrooms.
Yep.
And 2 toilet and 1 bathroom.
And here we have our kitchen. We have a massive sink here. Everything we could possibly need for cooking over the next 2 weeks while we're here. A whole bunch of cleaning stuff and trash bags. Here we have our editing workstation here. AirBNB plates and glasses and cups and bowls. A Japanese rice cooker and a toaster. Here is our fully stocked, look at all this cool stuff we got. We got a bunch of beer from around the world in Japan, some coffee milk, matcha latte, and his favorite, choco pie. Cool. Now when we were searching for accommodation, I was pretty blown away when I found this place because it's very traditional and very pretty. And I figured that seeing how we had 2 weeks in quarantine here, that it was big enough for us to not kill each other. Being stuck in 2 weeks close contact with only each other, if we were stuck in a tiny upper hotel room for 2 weeks, that would be a little bit torturous. Look at all this nice traditional sake wooden cups, little sake barrels here, an artist's hand, some little pottery things, a little traditional teapot, and some stone vases, some little sake cups, more sake cups. This is a Japanese kimono obi, which is normally wrapped around the waist of the woman wearing the kimono. But seeing how the fabric is really beautiful, a lot of traditional Japanese houses actually have them displayed to add a touch of class and elegance to the room. Here we have a desk / table. Here you can see I brought my PS5. We have some shoji. So the shoji is normally used as a barrier, and it is kind of like a curtain or a screen which just blocks out any visual distractions outside, or to separate the rooms. Something we noticed when we first walked into this Airbnb accommodation is that it smelled really nice. It had a very wooden, natural smell. Now this is not really tatami. The flooring here, it's kind of like a Toire. Next up on the room tour, on the house tour, is the bathroom. There's not really a lot in here. There's a sink and a mirror. Hello. and quite high ceilings. That's something I quite like about this whole house, is that all of the ceilings are quite high. It makes it not feel quite so claustrophobic. We got a hair straightener and a hairdryer and a set of scales and some towels. Now this is one of my favorite rooms. It is the bathroom. Look at this. This bath is so sick. It's quite deep. And here we have a traditional Japanese bathroom layout with a shower outside. This whole room is kind of a wet room in that you can splash water on the ground and it all kind of drains away at the end there. Typical bathing process in Japan is you take a shower and rinse off and get clean, and then you jump into the bathtub after, so that then other people can take a bath after you and you don't need to waste a lot of water. Now, something that's very cool is this little gadget here on the wall. It is an automatic bath maker. So you basically put the plug in, set the temperature, and then you just push this button up the top, and then this little thing down here in the bathtub starts spraying out water. So it's all automated. So it basically just fills up the bath to optimum bath level, and then once it's done, then it sends a signal to you back in the kitchen to this little thing on the wall, and it tells you that the bath is ready, and it plays a cute little jingle. So it generally takes about 5 to 10 minutes to fill up. So let's continue with the room tour. We have a Japanese toilet. Now this is very cool because it is a washlet. So this little button is the stop button. This little button is for spraying your bum. This is for women. This is the massage feature. This is for adjusting the intensity of it, weaker, stronger. This is for adjusting the spray type for the water. And the cool thing that is a little bit eco-friendly about Japanese toilets is that when you finish and you flush the toilet, then it'll flush, but then it has this little spout on the top, so you can wash your hands with clean water before it goes in to refill the tank. So that saves a lot of water and allows you to wash your hands and be fully clean after you have finished your business in the toilet. Next up, we have a very large washing machine. Big Drum Slim. We haven't used it yet because we only arrived yesterday, but I'm sure we'll be able to get lots of washing done. And now let's go upstairs. Look at all this cool stuff here. There's like a little kid's djembe, or like a happy. This is a happy. And hanging up on the wall here, we have this beautiful kimono. Look at it. Okay, here is our bedroom. As you can see, it has tatami on the ground, and it is laid out in a very traditional Ryokan style with futon, which we lay out and fold up during the day so that we have all this extra space and room to play with. And it's quite a relaxing space. It's a very high ceiling. There's an air conditioner heat pump on the wall. The light changes brightness with different pulls of the little cord: off, normal, dim, extra dim, so that's sort of like a night light mode, off. Over here we have some quite deep cupboards for hanging clothes. Yuka has some of her clothes in here. Next up we have this very interesting little alcove. I like to call it like a little ninja tunnel, a ninja passage. It's quite narrow and it's just really a bunch of storage at one end. But look how deep the cupboards are. It's like I could seriously hide in here. This is such a nice little passageway. It's very relaxing to walk in. And finally, the last room in the house is another little tatami room. This is called a 3-jo room because in old traditional Japanese houses, the size of the room is measured in tatami mats. So tatami mats come in a standard measurement. So because there are 1, 2, 3 tatami mats in this room, it is 3-jo. But it doesn't really take into account this little extra wooden bit. So yeah, it's actually quite surprising how efficiently designed each of the rooms is. Now we have here a very aesthetically pleasing Japanese wall scroll. We have a beautiful kind of lamp down here. Oh, I can hear music playing down in the kitchen. That means that the Ofuro, the bathtub, is ready. Let's get back down the stairs to check out how the automatic bath is going. Okay, dun, dun, dun. Ah, look at this. The bath is perfectly drawn. It's at the perfect level. Technology at its finest. Oh, the music. I think that brings us to the end of our Japanese home tour.
If you like our contents,
then please consider smashing the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, then please consider subscribing. Don't forget to remain curious.
what are you doing, honey?
I'm doing quarantine exercise.
Okay.
With Ring Fit Adventure.